Welcome to Sustainable CT Actions and Impact Preview for April 2024. Brought to you in part by our good friends, the Common Sense Fund. Remember, the Common Sense Fund promotes action both on the environment and in the arts that is practical, creative, and addresses social needs, and we are oh so glad they do. Visit them at commonsensefund.org. Oh, this is huge. All 169 Connecticut cities and towns have certified gold. Huzzah! Until the most recent certification cycle, only the city of New Haven had qualified for gold in September of last year. 33 towns were certified bronze, 24 had achieved silver status, and 36 towns were as yet unregistered for the program. Oh, but a late surge in both registrations and applications, along with a tremendous amount of work accomplished by hundreds of volunteers and municipal officials alike, produced an outcome that astonished even Lynn Stoddard, Sustainable CT's executive director and veteran of the certification process. "I didn't think it was possible," said Stoddard. "All of these towns put on their big pants and got the job done. Now there's nothing left to do but close up shop. Mission accomplished." You know, we don't get to publish this thing on April Fool's Day every day, so there you have it. On to real news! We're making Earth Day last. That's right. Who says Earth Day begins and ends on April 22? We're officially extending it, at least on our little corner of the Earth, to include April 30th. That's when Brenda Mallory, Waterbury native and chair of the White House Council on Environmental Quality, will join us with an inspiring Earth Day message and the opportunity to ask her questions about the Biden-Harris administration's approach to improving, preserving, and protecting America's public health and environment. Please register to join us for this special event on Tuesday, April 30 at noon. While registering, be sure to let us know what questions you would ask Chair Mallory. And happy Earth Day every day. In Elements this month, the next Sustainable CT Coffee Hour is all about building resilience in Connecticut communities. The National Fish and Wildlife Foundation's Long Island Sound Futures Fund, the LISFF, supports initiatives to improve water quality and foster resilient communities, all with the ultimate goal of supporting the health and living resources of Long Island Sound. In our next coffee hour, we'll explore the LISFF's funding program, boy, that's hard to say, and provide guidance on how you can collaborate with the LISFF's field liaison team to develop proposals and access technical assistance. That's April 19th at 10 a.m. Wow. Okay. Remember, you can join Sustainable CT for informal discussions most third Fridays of each month at 10 a.m. We share program updates and resources, explore your questions, and strengthen the network of Sustainable CT champions. Yes, we do. These sessions are always free, and you know that free is good and open to all. For your edification, your enlightenment, and your entertainment too, it's The Impact, a Sustainable CT podcast. April isn't the cruelest month at all, not for pollinators at any rate. Weston High School teacher Michael Aikenhead and a few of his industrious students will be joining us to discuss their pollinator garden project, an interactive ecosystem where students can get hands-on experience with wildlife and problem solving. And it's a community match fund project. Good things happen in the spring at Weston High School, so join us to hear the buzz. This month's episode of The Impact will be available on April 15th at sustainablect.org and wherever you get your podcasts. Our Community Match Fund is supporting two great Earth Day events, Earth Day in Blue Black Square in West Hartford on April 20th and On Earth Hartford 2024 on April 27th. Great for families, great for the Earth. Check those out. Oh, we're optimizing for equity. Yes, we are. Please join us for Sustainable CT's next Equity Connections with the Indaba Action Team on April 5th from 11:30 to 12:30 on Zoom. The Indaba Action Team is a group of concerned, committed, and curious Connecticut shoreline community members who are exploring, learning about, and becoming more aware of their own implicit bias, as well as how racism is practiced in our culture and communities. They will share their stories and what they are doing to build deeper understanding to address racism, including an incoming Indaba Action Team event supported by, that's right, the Sustainable CT Community Match Fund. And don't forget that our spring virtual equity training series takes place April 10th, May 15th, and June 12th. All sessions are from 1 to 3 p.m. These no-cost virtual events provide a comprehensive framework of racial equity, diversity, and inclusion. Attendance at all 3 sessions is required to complete the series, and attendance is capped at 35, and spaces fill up quickly, so please register without delay. You know, Sustainable CT and Actions and Impact, this very newsletter, and me speaking to you right now, it's all made possible in part by the Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut. The Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut brings people together to work towards a healthy, thriving, and sustainable Eastern Connecticut, and that's a very good thing. Visit them at cfect.org. Remember, Sustainable CT is independently funded. We don't have a magical unicorn rainbow money tree, no sir. But you can be a Sustainable CT sponsor. Find out how at sustainablect.org. You'll be glad you did. In conveyances this month, it's March Madness. Or, it was March Madness in March. But I'll bet you thought that was all about basketball, am I right? But check this out. 3 towns became newly registered with Sustainable CT in March: Colebrook, Danbury, and Sharon. A hearty hail and welcome to all 3. We're excited to work with all your dedicated residents to achieve certification too. And for those keeping score, that means 134 of Connecticut's 169 municipalities, nearly 80%, are registered with Sustainable CT. Now that's a winning team, yeah? If your town's still on the sidelines, contact us. You know how to do that. info@sustainablect.org. And we'll provide all the information you need to get in the game. The game, you see what I did there? The game, oh, it's madness. Our friends at the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, that's DEEP to you and me, have highlighted us in their latest newsletter, The Torrent. They talk about Sustainable CT's Action 5.9, participate in the National Flood Insurance Program's Community Rating System, or CRS. This new action provides 20 points for communities that participate in the NFIP Community Rating System, and as we like to say, that's deep. The Yale Program on Climate Change Communication has a new report out, International Public Opinion on Climate Change, Extreme Weather and Vulnerability 2023. Don't miss that. The sponsors of Energize Connecticut, Eversource and Avangrid, announced that they've received the 2024 Energy Star Partner of the Year Sustained Excellence Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the U.S. Department of Energy. This is the 9th time they've won this award. The 9th time! Might as well call it the Energize Connecticut Award, yeah? And Governor Lamont announced that new microtransit services will begin in various communities throughout Connecticut between March 26 and July 30. Microtransit service is an accessible, on-demand mode of transportation that allows customers to use a smartphone app or telephone number to request and schedule a ride within designated service areas. So, way to go, Ned! In our chronology section, where time waits for snowman. Remember, the deadline for spring certification submissions is April 10th at noon. Questions? Contact us at info@sustainablect.org because we can help. The Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut, hey, we know them, is having a special Earth Day event on environmental justice and climate resiliency. Hear from nonprofit, municipal, and tribal advocates who are implementing conservation strategies while increasing equitable decision-making and access to nature. And get this, Sustainable CT's Lynn Stoddard, will be facilitating the conversation at this in-person event, Monday, April 22, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Mystic Aquarium in beautiful Mystic. Hey, did you know that April 1 through 7 is Food Waste Prevention Week? Well, now you know. More than 600 partners across 48 states have joined together to educate and inspire real cultural change on food waste. Be a part of something that is truly moving the needle on reducing food waste, supporting a healthier environment, saving families money, and addressing food insecurity in our communities. Go to foodwastepreventionweek.com to read all about it. Are you interested in thermal loops? Well, who isn't really? Join the Connecticut Power and Energy Society for their webinar, Full Steam Ahead, The Future of District Energy and Municipal Thermal Resources, which will explore how thermal loops can power major cities. This is a paid virtual event with member and non-member pricing April 9th, 12 to 1 p.m. Fairfield County's Community Foundation has a couple of important events coming up. First, it's the Fund for Women and Girls annual celebration. You'll hear from legendary broadcast journalist and health advocate Jane Pauley, among other special guests. This is a paid in-person event, April 11th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Greenwich Country Club in Greenwich. And next, the FCCF is hosting In Community, a conversation with Nicole Hannah-Jones. This should be cool. Produced in partnership with the Equity Lab and Connecticut Public, the program will explore many of the themes Hannah-Jones explores in her work for the New York Times Magazine, creator of the 1619 Project. An in-person event, and it costs $20 for general admission, May 2nd, 5:30 p.m. at the District Music Hall in Norwalk. Speaking of cool events, in DABA and MAD content, the Clinton Arts Council, the Clinton Human Rights Committee, and the Henry Carter Hull Library are presenting a critically acclaimed one-act play written and directed by award-winning screenwriter Steve Driffin called Death by a Thousand Cuts, a requiem for Black and brown men. It's a full theatrical production depicting the life encounters, trauma, and microaggressions of Black and brown men who have been historically and culturally silent about the pain they endure living in their skin in America. It's a free event, and we love free events. Saturday, April 13th, 7 p.m. at the Andrews Memorial Town Hall in Clinton. Our good friends at the Connecticut Green Bank will provide an update on programs and solutions for homes, buildings, and investments on Wednesday, April 23rd, 12 to 1 p.m. This virtual event will include topics on energy storage solutions, news on C-PACE, Smart E, Green Liberty Notes, and more Wednesday, April 23rd at noon. And the Community Foundation of Greater New Haven will host the Groundwater Approach, Building a Practical Understanding of Cultural Racism, April 24th. The Groundwater Approach is a framework that helps us understand how racial inequities are embedded in our systems and institutions. This is a virtual event, April 24th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we have a last word, or two, about Huzzah, our spring into summer celebration for 2024. We're going back to where it began to bid farewell to Lynn. That's right, our Spring into Summer 2024 event will take place at Wickham Park in Manchester on June 11th from 4 to 7 p.m. We're coming full circle back to the place where we celebrated those who participated in creating Sustainable CT with a party in the park in July 2017. This year, in addition to celebrating the progress Connecticut communities have made over the years, we'll also be bidding farewell to our retiring executive director and founder, the irreplaceable Lynn Stoddard. We'll provide light fare and good cheer, and beautiful Wickham Park will provide the ambiance. So please register for this and put us on your calendar for June 11th, 4 to 7 p.m. And hey, sponsorship opportunities for this event are available. Oh, yes, they are. Call 860-259-4729 for details. And you can read all about it in this month's exciting edition of Actions and Impact, the official Sustainable CT newsletter, except no substitutes. Do yourself a favor and subscribe. And you can do that where saying goodbye is such sweet sorrow at sustainableCT.org.